This is now day 4 of Stockport Normandy Veterans' Legacy Pilgrimage to the Normandy beaches. We're at Gold Beach, the centre of the 5 beaches, where by midnight on the 6th of June, 25,000 British soldiers had landed. Arromanches-les-Bains, the town at the centre of Gold Beach, is probably best known for its Mulberry Harbour, a huge artificial or prefabricated port built by Royal Engineers to allow goods and armoured vehicles to land easily. When the 50th British Infantry Division landed on Gold Beach on the 6th of June, they captured Arromanches that same evening. The next day, construction of this Mulberry Harbour began by sinking old ships to form a breakwater. The construction, known as caissons, was huge, using around 31,000 tonnes of steel and 1.4 million metres of steel shuttering, which were pulled across the channel by tugs and then assembled. Just 8 days after landing on Gold Beach on the 14th of June, the first floating road was operational. Arromanches was always a favourite venue to socialising for our veterans, especially in the Blue Parrot Cafe, and the town was immensely welcoming to the British Allies. Our accounts start with minesweeping duty carried out by the Royal Navy. This is Alan Johnson's experience as an 18-year-old.
We're going over. The CO, the flotilla, has sent a signal down. Good luck to everyone. We're now starting sweeping towards the French coast. If the ship in front of you hits a mine, you are not to stop to pick survivors up. Just swing over and take his position up, because this minefield has got to be cleared. The trawlers at the back will pick up survivors.
Right.
Anyway, 4:30, all minesweeping gear in, and we're just there. Then about 5 to 5:30, we're watching astern, and all of a sudden the mist starts to clear. And from that horizon to that horizon was nothing but ships and landing craft.
Patrick Lannon was also only 18 when he landed early in the morning and was understandably apprehensive. His story explains how his corporal, an experienced soldier, supported him.
That
The raft went down.
you had 2 minutes to clear the boat, 36 of you. There was no question of hanging about, you'd be kicked off.
Right.
If the man in front of you hesitates, push him.
Push him.
And this corporal sat in front of me, and I said, I knew where he'd been, he'd been insisting and all that. I said, is it as bad? Oh, he said, we've not started yet. I said, no, depends how deep that was really. No, I said, so he feared, I said, yeah. He said, we all well. Anyway, you see this belt? I said, yeah, it's your webbing belt. He said, grab hold of that. Wherever that goes, you stop with it. But run. I said, right. He's got through it before.
And with that, they were in the water, getting up to waist height and above, heading towards the beach. Patrick got onto the beach and remembers that bullets were hitting the ground close enough to him to hit him with debris. Percy Redfern, another 18-year-old, was one of 3 men in an Armour D8, a vehicle similar to a bulldozer without a blade. They were tasked with pushing the wreckage on the beach to one side, away from the road.
Our boat, our captain, he ran the beach and dropped the front down. And we were, the sailors that were on, come on, hurry up. And as we were driving off, there was German prisoners carrying our blokes on stretchers, wounded men onto the boat. Because that's what they must have done. They must have got rid of us and then took wounded back.
The RAF also formed part of this assault, not only in the air attacking gun batteries and bombing transportation and railway bridges, but also on Gold Beach itself, as Bernard Morgan explains.
Like many of young lads in the war, I volunteered for the Royal Air Force on my 18th birthday which was the youngest age you could officially join the forces. And from there we continued exercises all through the winter of 43 and the spring of 44 in preparation for an invasion. We didn't know where it was going to be, whether it was going to be Norway or France. And we were a mobile signallers unit living in tents all the time, setting up our equipment one day. A week later we'd move off, set it up again. That was so when the initial time came, we could set it up very quickly and start operations. Our air operations officer, he controlled the movement of all the Allied aircraft in northwest Europe. And they didn't used to call me Sergeant Morgan, he used to call me Sergeant Morgan, the airman's friend. I never put on a charge or anything. And they used to call these wireless operators by the Christian names. They're only my age, you see. And sadly, 3 of them, off my watch, got killed whilst we were in Normandy. And whenever I go back there, I always go to their graves. They're all buried together just outside Bayeux, at a small cemetery there. And I always go back. And I was back there one year, going across on one of them, and I stood up and the lady came to me. She said, "Do you know that airman?" I said, "Yeah. He was one of our wireless operators." She said, "Well, I'm a relative." And she started crying. She was so pleased that somebody else was looking after his grave. And, I give a lot of talks at Royal Air Force stations and schools. And I think about these lads then, how they would have liked to have been there. And, I do it because I like the present generation to know exactly how the sailors, soldiers, airmen, airwomen and civilians gave their lives for the freedom that we enjoy today. They're the people we've got to thank.